Welcome back to another J-Speed Racing video, guys. Today we are starting off the 2022 drift season really strong. I got my S13 towing behind us. Let me get you up to date real quick on my S13. I know I don't show it a whole lot on the channel. So it is an S13 hatchback, painted nice in red. It has an LQ9 6-liter LS based motor with a T56 transmission. I run FDF angle, monster clutch, and a Sicky swap kit. There's a lot of man hours in this car. I've worked on this car for years, getting it where it is, and I even bought it pretty much already built, and I had to rebuild the whole car. Nonetheless, we're out here. We're going to Oklahoma Motorsport Complex for full lock drift round 1. It should be a great time. Gonna go to the shop, pick up the boys. We're gonna hit the road, 2-hour drive. Unfortunately, practice was yesterday. I had a wedding I had to go to, so I missed practice. However, today is comp day. We're gonna get out and do about an hour of practice and gonna go straight into qualifying. We better be on our A game today. Nonetheless, it'll be a good time and we'll get some good runs in. Make sure, if you're not already, subscribe, give the video a like as well. Thank you. 1 hour before I had to qualify, the diff in the S13 actually broke. I have a photo. I'll go ahead and put it up on the screen right here. I did have a spare diff and we were stressing. We luckily were able to get the diff in the car within 1 hour, filled it with fluid, didn't even test it, went out and qualified. It was a big relief. We were just absolutely busting our butts trying to get the diff in. We even had to swap the flanges, which took a little bit. I ended up qualifying 3rd place, which I was really happy with. Qualifying 3rd gave me a bye run right into the top 8, which was super clutch. So moving into the top 4, or the semifinals, that is when the car started acting up. It did it maybe a little bit in the top 8. That's when the car started cutting out.
backwards. I need my 5 minutes.
As you can see from the GoPro footage, my AFRs dropped, so that means it was running rich. And that's what pushed the one more time. I had the battle in the bag. However, car started cutting out. I barely crossed the line, just pulling e-brake. After the car was starting to cut out, I went ahead, refueled, tried to cool it down a little bit. I didn't have time, I only had 5 minutes, so I went ahead, did what I could, went out for the one more time.
Good job.
Chris, don't go nowhere. You gotta...
So we secured the one more time. Car did not cut out as bad. Maybe it was just a fluke. It's behind us. And went ahead and moved on to the finals. As you can see in the final battle, it did not cut out as much. I had a little bit of time to let the car cool down, so they ended up calling it one more time on that last battle. I thought I had the first battle in the bag of the finals. Judges didn't think so. That is okay. That's how the game is played. So we went back out. I knew I was having a cutout issue. Every time I kind of pulled the hydro, it kind of burbled a little bit and kind of hesitated, which did not inspire confidence on my behalf. I just wanted to get out there, get through the battle, and not force one more time. However, that wasn't the case. So at this point, everything was so hot, my GoPro ended up dying on me. Really unfortunate, but luckily we got some outside shots. And again, they called it one more time, which probably rightfully so. I think that was a good call on their behalf. That's when the car was cutting out again, and it was super frustrating. However, this car is a rocket ship, and it was absolutely cranking on the bank. So the car was running at about 230 degrees at this point. I had to let it cool off. That was the max I was gonna push the heat on the engine. It is an iron block, so I can kind of beat on it a little bit more. However, didn't want to hurt it. So let her cool off a little bit. Went out for the third battle, the second one more time. And the guy behind me, Reno, good buddy of mine, he ended up shooting off track, unfortunately. So at that point, I knew I could just kind of coast through and kind of be in the chase, but really not worried about having to be on his door necessarily to be able to get the win since he zeroed out, unfortunately. So ended up getting first place at the drift competition, Pro-Am, round one. Super, super excited. Super blessed, super thankful, praising the Lord that it went well, considering all the circumstances. And we got to add our very first Pro-Am first place. We got a couple Pro-Am second places to my trophy collection up here. So what I think was wrong with the car as far as cutting out issue goes, I was talking with my tuner and he thought that the ECU was just dumping fuel to be safe. And so we're gonna go ahead and probably take that out of the tune. Also, I do have a little bit of a burble tune and a flame tune on it as far as diesel goes. We're gonna take that out as well because I don't want my spark plugs to foul out and then it start running kind of weird because of that. So we're gonna take out my flame tune, unfortunately. We're gonna take out that safety measure because if it's hot, I need it to run well. That's what it's built for. So luckily this car hasn't seen much cosmetic damage. Knock on wood, fingers crossed, it stays like that. It's looking absolutely fantastic. Need to fix that rear fitment in the rear. Don't look at that. This thing is built to drift, nothing more, nothing less. So to catch you guys up in the off season, I did go ahead and do the rear end. Got a new fuel cell in here. She's looking snazzy. It worked really well, which is nice. And then under the hood, I tried to get a little bit more horsepower. So what I did, fast 102 intake manifold under the hood, and made another 30 wheel. So she's looking great. If you don't already follow me on Instagram, I do updates on this car quite a lot. I don't do too much on YouTube because it's mostly BMW channel. So she makes 400 wheel horsepower, which is plenty for what I'm doing. Runs a 285 tire, either a Kenda or an Accelera, whatever I can get my hands on. Next round comes up in 3 weeks. I'm gonna do a little bit of testing on this car. Make sure to drop a like and a comment, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Catch you guys.
That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? Ay, coming down like precipitation. I ain't never met a limitation.